The BJP's vote share in 2019 was somewhere around 3%. Today, if you look at opinion polls, most of them suggest that the BJP's vote share could be double digits in this election. Our own Mode of the Nation survey suggested this could be about 15%. Now, a result and the reason that you're seeing that kind of a surge is perhaps because the BJP has been putting their 100% focus on improving their tally in Tamil Nadu. Whether it's in the form of these visits by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whether it's in the form of Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai making headlines, or with his yatra, you've got the central command sending out a very, very clear message that in the upcoming election, they want to see a few seats coming in from Tamil Nadu. But is it easier said than done? Let's get you some of the highlights of the Prime Minister's speech today. He spoke in two rallies, one in Thoothukudi and the other in Tirunelveli. And there were some themes that we picked up from his address, which we'll discuss in great detail as well. But first, a report with some of the highlights of the Prime Minister's message to the people of Tamil Nadu. Prime Minister Modi's power-packed visit to Tamil Nadu. From dynasty politics to corruption, the Prime Minister fired an all-out attack at the DMK. Modi kicked off his second day in Tamil Nadu with a visit to the ISRO spaceport in Thoothukudi, and from the get-go, lashed out at the Congress and DMK combined.
Tamil Nadu mein कई अखबार हैं, कई टीवी चैनल हैं जो इन खबरों को छापना चाहेगी, दिखाना चाहेगी, लेकिन यहां जिस प्रकार की सत्ता है वो उनको ये नहीं करने देगी। लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी हम तमिलनाडु की सेवा में कभी रुकेंगे नहीं, विकास के कामों को अटकने नहीं देंगे। ये सारे जो प्रोजेक्ट मैं आज लेके आया हूं, ये दशकों से यहां के लोगों की मांग थी। आज जो यहां सत्ता में बैठे हैं, वे लोग उस समय दिल्ली में बैठे थे, सरकार चलाते थे, ये डिपार्टमेंट चलाते थे, लेकिन उनको आपके विकास की परवाह नहीं थी। भारत सरकार के प्रयास से आज तमिलनाडु में आधुनिक कनेक्टिविटी एक नई ऊंचाई पर है।
But the big talking point soon steered towards this advertisement by the DMK in Tamil newspapers. The ad showed Prime Minister Modi and Chief Minister Stalin, and between them, a picture of a Chinese rocket. The BJP immediately lashed out at the ad, and the Prime Minister, during his next stop at Tirunelveli, also made a mention of the controversial ad.
जो टैक्स तमिलनाडु के भाई बहन देते हैं, उन पैसों से उन्होंने एडवर्टाइजमेंट दिया, और एडवर्टाइजमेंट दे करके उसमें भारत के स्पेस का चित्र नहीं रखा। भारत के स्पेस की सफलता को वो दुनिया के सामने, तमिलनाडु के सामने रखना नहीं चाहते थे। उन्होंने हमारे साइंटिस्टों का अपमान किया। ये डीएमके को अब सजा करने का मौका आ गया है।
The DMK, however, dismissed the controversy, calling it a mere faux pas amid the political row.
I don't know what the person who did the artwork, where they found the picture from. And I don't think, India has declared China as an enemy country or anything, because I have seen that the Prime Minister has invited the Chinese Prime Minister, and they've gone to, they've come to Mahabalipuram or anything.
We expect a bare minimum apology from the DMK government and that minister. And instead, Kaniboli madam going overboard and defending, I really am at pain to say, why is this happening in our state? Why the politicians from DMK are behaving every time anti-national, every time.
तमिलनाडु का हर वर्ग
Prime Minister Modi's speech in Tirunelveli was also dominated by more attacks on the DMK, including on the Ram Mandir. But he also had an emotional moment as he thanked crowds for gathering in such large numbers.
राम मंदिर के निर्माण से पूरा देश खुश है। अभी कुछ ही दिन पहले पार्लियामेंट में एक रिजोल्यूशन आया था, लेकिन इस दौरान डीएमके के सदस्य सारे एमपी सदन छोड़ करके भाग गए। मैं आप सबसे पहले क्षमा मांगता हूं। इतना उत्साह, इतना प्यार, इतने आशीर्वाद, लेकिन मैं तमिल में भाषण नहीं कर पा रहा हूं। उसके बावजूद भी लाखों लोग बैठ रहे हैं, मुझे सुनने समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। शत शत नमन करता हूं। पहले जो डीएमके के नेता थे वो अपने बेटे को मुख्यमंत्री बनाने के लिए जिंदगी भर लगे रहे। अब जो मुख्यमंत्री है वो अपने बेटे को मुख्यमंत्री बनाने में लगे हुए हैं। ये सारे डीएमके वाले अपने बच्चों को सेट करने में लगे हैं और आपका भविष्य अपसेट करने में लगे हैं।
With this mega show of strength, can the BJP pull off their best ever performance in Tamil Nadu in the upcoming elections? The party is definitely pulling all stops to do so. With Pramod Madhav, Bureau Report, India Today. I'd like to bring in Pramod Madhav also on this broadcast. He's joining us live from Tirunelveli. He's been tracking the Prime Minister's rallies for the last 2 days. Pramod, good evening. I'd like to find out from you what really was the mood on the ground in Tamil Nadu. There's a lot of talk about the BJP gaining ground in the state. Did you see that firsthand at these rallies of the Prime Minister?
It was quite a large crowd, Akshita, and it was quite charged up as well because they were there present to hear to what the Prime Minister was saying. And yesterday was a very important aspect because nearly after 6 months, the state president of BJP, Annamalai, went ahead and he concluded his Enman Enmakal Yatra. And this is where the Prime Minister, he also, in a way, was trying to recall how he brought the Ekta Yatra and he was trying to connect. In both the rallies, be it in the Tirupur or Tirunelveli, he was trying to as much as connect with the sentiments of Tamil people. In fact, he recalled the memories of MGR and Jayalalitha yesterday, and today he actually spoke about how DMK and like what DMK is doing in the state. All these things happen. In fact, today morning when he was in Thoothukudi, he did not mention the name of Kanimari, who was also present at the dais. So that way, the actual battle for the election has started, Akshita. But one thing is very clear that the people who attended both his rallies in Tirupur and Tirunelveli were definitely there to listen to what the Prime Minister was going to say.
Interesting, and that's something the Prime Minister highlighted too, saying, I don't know your language, you don't know mine, and yet you all gathered in such large numbers. Thanks very much, Pramod, for joining us with your analysis of what you saw on ground. There are some themes clearly in the Prime Minister's speeches in the last 2 days, 3 speeches that he's made, and in each one of them there were key takeaways that gives you a sense of exactly what the Prime Minister's election strategy is in Tamil Nadu. And let's dissect that one by one. First is the fact that the Prime Minister is projecting Annamalai as the BJP face in Tamil Nadu. There was a lot of talk that perhaps the BJP High Command was miffed with Annamalai, particularly when the alliance with the AIADMK broke off. But there's a message here from the Prime Minister, whether it's patting Annamalai's back, holding his hand, constantly speaking to him on stage. The message from the Prime Minister was that Annamalai is going to be the leader for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, at least in the foreseeable future, at least till the general elections. Now, the Prime Minister, in all of his attacks are on the DMK. Mind you, he never really attacked the AIADMK. He focused largely only on the DMK. But that was on 2 issues, on corruption and dynasty politics, on nepotism, even making comments like the DMK works only for its own family, works for their own children alone. Now, all of this is something that the BJP has been creating a narrative narrative of in Tamil Nadu. Issues that have never really resonated with the public in previous elections. We'll have to see if it works this time around for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, because there is, in fact, these are issues that the BJP raises in several other states in their elections. They're bringing it into Tamil Nadu as well. They're countering also the narrative of the BJP being a Hindi party. That's often one of the biggest setbacks for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu, that they're viewed as a North Indian party, they're viewed as a Hindi party. Now, the Prime Minister repeatedly in his speeches, whether it was the form of starting off his speech in English, ensuring otherwise that, there are comments made about how much he appreciates Tamil, how much he appreciates Tamil culture, or for that matter, even today, getting rather emotional when he spoke about how he doesn't know Tamil, wished he could. He can just about understand a bit but can't speak the language. It tells you that he's trying to send out a message that they're extremely appreciative of Tamil as a language, of Tamil as a culture and tradition. It's an important message because you see a lot of politics on this issue in Tamil Nadu. They're very possessive of their culture, of their tradition. So the Prime Minister understanding that and kind of trying to shift the narrative there. Also highlighting the central government schemes, putting out numbers repeatedly to kind of say that, look, this is what we've done for you, these are the issues we've addressed, these are the benefits you're getting, courtesy the central government. For many people, and it's not just limited to Tamil Nadu, in most states the problem is that, of course, there's no clarity really on what's a central government scheme and a state government scheme. Here the Prime Minister wants to very clearly say that for Tamil Nadu to develop, the BJP must come to power, and that's why he's trying to send out a message that we're doing this much for the people of Tamil Nadu. There were several stats that he gave saying that before the BJP came to power, this is how much benefits Tamil Nadu was getting versus now, to kind of highlight that the BJP is focused on ensuring the development of the state as well. And the fifth point, again very crucial as far as political narratives go, is that the Prime Minister is projecting BJP as the alternative to the DMK, not the AIADMK. He's not taking on the AIADMK, but he's also sending out a message that a number two choice for voters is the BJP. And by doing that, essentially ensuring that the AIADMK vote base also shrinks, that many of them jump over to the BJP, which also explains why he showered praise on Jayalalitha and MGR. There were many who questioned whether it's him reaching out to the AIADMK. It's rather him trying to ensure that the AIADMK vote base goes to a BJP, believing that the BJP too is appreciative of some of their massive larger-than-life leaders like Dr. MGR and Jayalalitha. Now, the Prime Minister has made it very clear that as part of Mission 2024, it is to make inroads in South India. He keeps speaking about 400 Par. For him to actually achieve that, he's going to have to ensure that the BJP seats in the South increase. And that's why in this year alone, I wanted you to take a look at how many times he's really visited different parts of the South. It started in Trichy on Jan 2nd when the Prime Minister inaugurated projects worth over 19,850 crore rupees. That was followed by a visit to Lakshadweep as well, where he unveiled developmental projects and also made that big tourism push that everyone was speaking about, of course, when there was a video that was put out of the Prime Minister snorkeling as well. Let's move that along to the next page as well. So once, in fact, soon after that, on Jan 3rd, the very next day, he was in Thrissur of Kerala, where he held a roadshow, addressed this mega women's meeting. There was a Thanksgiving rally of sorts. The Prime Minister, also the BJP, has been putting a lot of focus on Thrissur, hoping that by going ahead and fielding a star like Suresh Gopi, they'll be able to bag that seat. After that, a few weeks later, the Prime Minister was again in the South, this time in Lepakshi of Andhra Pradesh. This was during the Anushtan that he was holding before the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha. He visited the Veerbhadra temple and also performed an aarti. The next few days, you saw many such visits taking place. The Prime Minister also again went to Thrissur, this time praying at the Guruvayur temple, was seen also going ahead and attending Suresh Gopi's daughter's wedding, blessing several other couples. It's on the same day that he visited the Triprayar Sri Rama temple as well, again linked to his Anushtan. So there's a clear template here of the Prime Minister focusing on the South, but also visiting some of the most iconic historic temples of the South, each with a clear message, also linking it to the Ram Mandir, which he raised in today's rally. Let's go to January 20th, when again he touched down in Tamil Nadu. He was in Trichy offering prayers at the Ranganatha Swami temple. And then on the same day also made his way to Rameshwaram, where he visited the Ramanatha Swami temple. It's here that he took that holy bath, the holy snan as well. Then in Dhanushkodi, the very next day, the Prime Minister visited another very, very famous temple, the Kottanda Ramaswamy temple, and performed a puja there. All of this was linked to his Anushtan. And before the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha, the Prime Minister spent the most amount of time in South India visiting these temples and constantly drawing a link to Ayodhya as well. And then on February 13th, very interesting, he was in Abu Dhabi, and I remember being there at the Airline Modi event to reach out to the diaspora in the UAE, a large portion of which comes from South India. The Prime Minister spoke in Tamil, spoke in Telugu, Malayalam as well as Kannada to send out a message that we love all of you, you are our pride. That was a message he sent out in different languages. And then now, of course, he's started off his trip before Tamil Nadu in Thiruvananthapuram, where he visited the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, named the 4 astronauts for the Gaganyaan mission, and then made his way to Thoothukudi, where again he's inaugurated several developmental projects worth 17,300 crores. So in a matter of 2 months, these are the number of visits that he's made to the South India. Nothing clearer than this, essentially, that the Prime Minister is putting all of his focus on South India and ensuring that the BJP makes inroads in states like Tamil Nadu, in states like Kerala. I also want to get you this video of Prime Minister Modi meeting with German singer Cassandra and her mother. This was yesterday in Tamil Nadu's Palladam. Let's give you that conversation.
Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Bhaje Krishna Damodaram Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Bhaje.
You like Indian food?
Yeah, I love it.
What type of food you enjoy?
I just discovered the sweets.
Yesterday I saw your one small video, Om Namah Shivaya. I'm in India.
Yes. You've been waiting for 6 years.
Yeah. So when first time I talked to her, he never told me that she wanted to come to India.
Yeah, I was very shy. I still am. So I never thought that this would happen. So.
But God is always with you.
Yeah.
When one is doing a bhajan, God is always blessing.
Yeah.
Shivayogam Varahirade